Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. $ American Doofus, all one word, AMERICANDUFUS for the Cash App, and American Doofus, all one word, at gmail.com to email me. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. If you're already a subscriber, hit the notification button so you'll know when we're live. And we will be live later on tonight covering the events in Brooklyn, Center, Minnesota, as well as elsewhere. In last night's live, we had a couple of stories pop up at the very end. The first one that broke, so to speak, was a mass shooting in Indianapolis, Indiana. It was the third mass shooting thus far this year. We reported last night that 5 people had been killed and 9 had been hospitalized. We learned this morning that 9 people had been killed and 5 people had been hospitalized. 9 people were killed. You can see that in the video, it's running back the other mass shootings that have happened in Indianapolis. This is Mayor Joe Hogshead.
Families of those killed, grief for the employees who have lost their co-workers, and grief for the many Americans struggling to understand how tragedies like this continue to occur again and again. They joined the Indianapolis community.
And again, that was Mayor Joe Hogshead. Mayor Hogshead, a friend of mine, for full disclosure, a friend of mine from the political world. And I wish I was talking with him personally under better circumstances. I do have a request for an interview in with Joe. But again, mass shooting, the third mass shooting this year in Indianapolis, not in the country, not in the state, in the city of Indianapolis. 3 mass shootings thus far this year. And we are at April 16th. The latest mass shooting last night at the FedEx facility out by the airport on the near west side of Indianapolis left 9 people dead and 5 injured. What we do know, the shooter took his own life, and everything ended before police arrived, and it all took about 3 minutes at maximum. We don't know the name of the shooter. We don't know the identities of anyone that lost their lives in that incident. If you watched the live last night, you know that I have a very dear friend that works out there. And fortunately, she was not working last night. The second story that broke last night at the end of our live broadcast was in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a police officer shooting in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's all we knew at that time. Here's the rest of the story this morning.
At approximately 9:15 p.m., the Tuscaloosa Police Department was called by a victim who reported an incident of domestic violence. This victim had 2 children with the suspect. They engaged in a domestic argument or altercation during which the suspect fired a round into her vehicle while it was occupied by herself and her 2 small children. She left the area and drove to a second location and contacted the police, who responded to meet with her. While they were speaking with her and taking an initial report, the suspect was observed driving nearby. Officers attempted a traffic stop on the suspect to make contact with him, but as they attempted to make direct physical contact and speak with him, he fled in the vehicle, and a short vehicle pursuit resulted. The suspect then drove his vehicle into a parking lot where he stopped and then fled on foot. Multiple officers pursued him into a wooded area. The suspect was located after some time in this wooded area, and as the officers were approaching and giving commands, the suspect produced a firearm, and a shot was fired, and shots were fired also by the Tuscaloosa police officers. Subject was immediately transported to the hospital for treatment, but he did not survive the injuries. At that time, the Violent Crimes Unit was contacted and responded to assume the investigation into that. And as I mentioned previously, as this incident occurred with members of the Tuscaloosa Police Department, no personnel involved in this investigation is affiliated or employed by the Tuscaloosa Police Department.
So there we go. Police action shooting in Tuscaloosa, Alabama last night. The suspect fired a round into a vehicle with his significant other and children in the vehicle. She fled. She called police. They came to the second location, and the suspect came to the second location, then fled. Short police chase later, and he was ended up he was killed, shot in the woods by Tuscaloosa police. So just to follow up on those two stories that came out last night when we were doing the live, towards the end of the live, just to clarify what had happened in both of those situations. Again, we'll be live later on this evening, covering the action. Hopefully peaceful and safe for all involved. But nonetheless, Friday nights are when things kick off, and they could kick off in Chicago following the release of the body cam footage from the killing of Adam Toledo, 13-year-old in Chicago. Louisville has not stopped. So we don't know what's going to happen where, but we're going to try to keep an eye on things and be live later on tonight. So what we try to do, try to show you things other people, other media doesn't show. And we don't just give you 2 or 3 seconds of things. We let you see the whole story and decide for yourself. We don't tell you what to think or how to think. We just give you things to think about. That's what we do. It's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I love you all. Stay alive. Until next time.